You guys, I think most of you are intelligent enough to understand that John Lennon was not the Messiah and did not have lots of physical evidence through religious documentation and communications that he was born to be the Messiah. Right? So, he interpreted and said a lot of things that were pretty much intelligent. There was a lot of intelligence to it, but he's not the Messiah. Okay. So the song Imagine uh, isn't as intelligent as things conveyed and said and understood by the Messiah. So if you go look at the song Imagine and you go look at documentation that we have of quotes of Haile Selassie, okay, that it's obvious that Selassie had a better grasp and understanding of eternity and the fidelity of religious people. Do you understand? And the same with Krishnamurti, okay, Judah Krishnamurti, who technically, in technical terms, if you want to look at the way I would perceive it as the Messiah, is a Messiah, okay, and is a person of a different group of people on planet Earth with a similar understanding of eternity and an infinite essence as, the spiritual essence of myself. And that's why the people that try to reflect an understanding in groups that are called religions and stuff say that said that the Krishna and Christ are the same. They are in faith, but they are not in flesh. Okay, but their spirits and faith are the same. You understand? Okay. So there is no conflict and there is no dissension, and there's eternal understanding between myself and Judah Krishnamurti. Uh, that is perfectly respectful and understanding of one another because of the perfection of our faith. Okay, so we understand the word. You're funny. Yeah, I get that. Um, he had comedy in him too. I always said he's so, but then I heard him when he talked about when he was in India and he said India's a great country except for all the Indians, and the one about the man hanging from the cliff and he's praying to God to save him and have faith and jump. That's funny. Christian Brandon made a joke, right? He's very different than me. He was rescued from poverty in his own country. Of origin and birth and of genetics, replications, and then was taken to England, okay, and was raised in formal education with people that are radically different than the TV generation of myself. Okay, so me and King David and Jesus are very similar in personality, but our culturalization is radically different. So me and Jesus and David and others, we when we talk, it's easy. It's very understandable. To speech said in I can't remember what song he had. The kid from Arrested Development. That is his conversation is casual and it's very down to earth when he has conversations with the Spirit of the Lord. I don't know if he was saying God. A lot of people say God. I watched some of the 30 for 30 and was watching Allen Iverson and his mother speak, and they kept using the word when they were meaning to say the Lord, they were saying God. Okay. But I knew just what they were saying. They're talking about Jesus. Okay. They're not talking about Jehovah. Okay. And where a lot of you be critical, this person's an egomaniac. I was like, no. I think that they were just trying to survive and knew we weren't living the love of Jesus Christ. And in this survival, it was very hard on them. Okay. So as I was sitting there watching this 30 for 30 video made back in 2010 of a young man named Allen Iverson. Allen's about 8 years younger than me. Okay, so I was balling before he was. You know, a lot of his moves, that was mine. You know what I mean? I stood there, I used to watch him play and go, well, that's one of my moves, man. You know, because there'll be, oh, he did this. And I was like, nah, I've been doing that one for years. But when I lived in Phoenix, when you start doing certain things and it's like the 100th monkey syndrome, people see it and then they replicate it and go, okay. And I call it my hitch hop dribble, where I take the ball and push it back through the right leg to go back to my right again because I was right-handed. And that's what I used to break you off. And I was so fast, I didn't do a lot of dribbling. That's why I get a little annoyed watching guys like Kyrie Irving. They dribble too damn much. No, I wasn't a excessive between the legs. You know, I see lots of guys when I did most of my dribbling, you know, if it was stylish, it was to attract attention to get the defenders to be aggressive with me. It wasn't to put on a show. And you can tell when a kid's doing it to put on a show as opposed to attract the defender to create for his teammates. And especially when they dribble, then shoot. Right? You know what I'm saying? That's why I kept watching the Kyrie Irving kids. Like, he dribbled and he shoot. You're just going to stand out there, run around, pass to yourself, and throw the ball up in the air. Great basketball. Yeah, that's sarcasm. No, if you're gonna dribble, I rarely did a lot of. I didn't do every time I did Showtime dribbling. Like I told you, when I cross half court, I go between the legs, and then I'd be looking. It was because someone was on my left, and I'm right-handed, so I go between the legs full speed twice, real fast. And then when it came up the last time, that meant the ball was coming in my right hand and there was a pass going, because it was distracting the defender away from the cutter to me. And then the pass was coming. And that's why you would do certain things, because you know how to play people's egos. Oh, he think he bad. Yeah, that's right, motherfucker. Thunk. Okay. Layup. Right? And so it's funny, but there's a connection. You know, Charles Barkley talks about it, and we had a connection because he was in Phoenix when I was in Phoenix. But the one kid that I saw a real connection with and felt a real connection with was Allen Iverson, because we were a lot alike as far as talents go. Yeah, I was faster than he was. I was more explosive. I could jump higher. I was faster than he was. But our games were very similar. Watched him play football. And he was a quarterback. He could throw farther than I could. But football, we were kind of similar too. I was very fast and could move and had lots of shimmy in the cocoa bop and was really difficult to try to get your hands on. You can't touch him. It was hard to touch me. I was really fast. And like me and my son Patrick talked about, Jesus didn't want me to play football because I would physically, they'd think I was a dirty player because they would try to do dirty things to me. And in football, you can take one guy by the butt and shove him into his linebacker when he's coming in, lowering his head and trying to hurt you. I could stop on a dime and move, and I could do it in basketball too. Still didn't stop me from going to the emergency room. No, they would come up and push you into the pole. They would come, guy, I can't tell you how many times at Encanto Park in Phoenix, Arizona, how many times I was pushed in the goddamn pole. Oh, I hated that shit. No, I never, I could have killed them with my bare hands, yeah. Never did. Just sat there and looked at him, shook my head, and said, you're just pathetic. Like that time with that Polynesian kid, his girlfriend was laughing at him because we taught him a lesson because they were cocky to us. And then when we was finished him off, he pushed me into the bench at his girlfriend. I'm like, wow, what a real good boyfriend, right? He's going to push a human being into her because she's laughing because he deserved it because he was being a cocky shit. And I, in order to stop myself from landing on the girls, turned and it bent my foot up and you could see the bottom of my shoe. Bob thought I broke my ankle, and he thought I broke my ankle because you could see my leg just bend under like that because I had to stop and put my hand on the bench where the girls were and flipped myself over the bench so I wouldn't hurt the young ladies. I was protecting his girlfriend better than he was. And we were sitting there, and she was, she was sitting there, "Are you okay?" and all that. And Bob was sitting there. Bob wanted to get violent, and I'm like, "Bob, just take me to the hospital. I think," and he's thinking the same thing. "I think your leg is broken." It wasn't. It was a high ankle sprain. I had lots of things like that where they thought, "God damn, it broke." No, everything's work. And then, it was the same kind of injury that Kawhi Leonard missed a year on and stuff. I was back playing in about 3 weeks. Yeah, I still have a more exceptional body than most people that live on the planet today. The hell I've been through was a group decision by corporations, left and right, scientific community, and the cult community that call themselves religions. It's a lot like Barbarous and Jesus. Yeah. Live the Lord's Prayer for Earl and reflect the beauty of Jesus Christ, or fight like hell over money and, get people to accept the technology and the money as reality and continue the brain chemical addiction. So it's a very similar dynamic. The difference is Jesus didn't have computers plugged into the planet doing a diagnostic on the planet to see what is the most rational and faithful and truthful way for humans to interact to maintain the beauty of life through this planet. So it's radically different than when the Romans sat there and said, "Hey, Pilate washed his hands of it," and stuff like that. You can't do that now. Okay, do you understand? I'm pretty sure if Allen Iverson and his mom were watching this going, "That guy's the Spirit of the Lord." Yeah. He's listening to our prayers. Yep. And he's going to clean this mess up. Yeah. My favorite Georgetown player was a man named Craig Sheldon. A lot of you guys don't know him. He was a 6'7" forward that played for John Thompson when Thompson first started and wasn't quite so angry. Okay. Craig Sheldon was very classy. He was a very classy ball player, very good ball player. He was like a senior when Sleepy Floyd was a sophomore. Okay. He was my favorite Georgetown player because just the way he was the first big recruit by John Thompson, and he was very classy and presented the university in the right way. He's a really good kid. And after that, John Thompson became more of a us against them kind of thing, and he kind of lost his way. And I liked him a lot at first, and I liked Pat Ewing a lot too, but he just lost his way in fighting them and then becoming them, as opposed to resisting the fight and standing for peace, no matter how dirty they are. Like me, they push me in the pole. Like, that's the only way you're going to try to win the basketball game is push me into a pole. That boy think he bad. Nah, I'm really good, and I know I'm better than you. All right, guys, I love you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.